Hey guys, how's it going? It's Joy. I'm back again with another video. I hope that you guys are doing well and I hope you guys are staying safe. So, you guys, I wanted to talk about two topics today. I wanted to talk about something that I'd never really touched on before, but until now, I thought it would be nice to bring it up. But I wanted to mention about, of course, narcissistic abuse, but I also wanted to talk about domestic violence abuse. And is it the same? Is it similar, or how is it different? And I also wanted to talk about, how to stop feeling sorry for people who don't want to change. I think these are really great topics. But yeah, and the reason why I wanted to talk about, domestic violence abuse, because I do feel like, some people that are in narcissistic relationships or dealing with the narcissist, it could be where, it could be physically violent, and, you really just want to make sure that you are protecting yourself and keeping yourself safe and keeping your kids safe. So, you guys know what narcissistic abuse is. It's basically when you're being abused mentally, verbally, and emotionally, and this person is basically manipulating you and could be manipulating your behavior to get what they want in the relationship. Meaning, like, this person could be trying to control you. They could be verbally abusive, emotionally abusive. They could be always causing arguments and fights and fussing and constantly like humiliating you, putting you down, that sort of thing to stop you from leaving the abuse. Or they could be giving you silent treatment. They could stonewall you, or they could be love bombing you. They have that type of dynamic. They also have the triangulation, what the narcissist will do to a lot of their victims. And let's also say that you're out of the relationship. They could also be trying to hoover you. They could be doing a smear campaign against you. You know what I mean? And they could be stalking you. They could be watching you, lurking in the woodworks, And so you do just want to keep that in mind. So that's basically what narcissistic abuse is, essentially. And also this individual, because the abuse comes from the individual that has a personality disorder, right? And so this person is basically self-absorbed. They think that the world revolves around them. They have a really big ego. You know what I mean? So that's basically that. But in regards to domestic violence, and I did look it up on Google just because, thank goodness I have never really experienced domestic violence, but I know that, some people that I talk to, like some of my clients, they have been in a domestic violence situation. And so I think that it's good to bring awareness. Like, if you know anybody that's dealing with this, or if you are dealing with this, just keep this in mind. But basically, it's on www.un.org, and it says domestic violence in simple terms is, or it says intimate partner violence can be defined as a pattern of behavior in any relationship that is used to gain or maintain power and control over an intimate partner. And it just says what are some points on domestic violence? It says domestic violence affects the victim's families, coworkers, and the community. It causes diminished psychological and physical health, decreases the quality of life, and results in decreased productivity. The national economic cost of domestic and family violence is estimated over $12 billion per year. So that's pretty interesting. And then just real quick here, in regards to, and I'm on Shelter for Help emergency.org. So if anybody is dealing with domestic violence, please make sure that you reach out to the domestic violence hotline. So they just said, what are the 3 stages involved in the cycle of domestic abuse? And it basically says these are the phases. It says tension building phase, the acute or crisis phase, and the calm or honeymoon phase. Without intervention, the frequency and the severity of the abuse tends to increase over time. And it says over a period of time, there may be changes of the cycle. So it definitely does sound similar to narcissistic abuse, but not to the severity and to the and it's not like in depth, but it definitely has a similar pattern. You guys know what I mean? Because you guys know in narcissistic abuse, you guys have it where it's like the love bombing phase, right? In the beginning when you first meet your narcissist, or this could be a parent, like your parent could actually love bomb you, or, if you have like a mother-in-law or a father-in-law, they could love bomb you as well. And even a friend can do the same thing. And then, they have it to where, during that love bombing, they're like basically trying to see if you're a good target, or they're trying to make you into a person that will accept the abuse, and that they can groom and they can train to not say anything, you know what I mean? Or to just be very like meek and, where you don't have boundaries and you don't stand up for yourself, And then the other phase is basically like the devaluation phase, where they start the mental abuse, the verbal abuse, the psychological abuse comes into play. So it's the put downs, it's the fighting, it's the argument, it's, draining your energy, it's making you feel less than, making you feel like you're not good enough, that sort of thing, right? And then they like try to embarrass you in front of people. And then finally, it's the devaluation, the discard phase, where they give you the silent treatment, they ghost you, you don't hear from them, they may like run in and out of your life, they may try to hoover you, or flying monkeys may try to reach out to you, or they may be stalking you and stuff like that. So you do have that phase, but it's interesting because with the domestic violence abuse, it is kind of similar, because the person can kind of, you don't know that this person is someone that's going to be like hitting you physically, and so they can trick you in the beginning. And then, and like I said, thank goodness I have never been in a domestic violence situation, but I know that I know others that have been, and I know how dangerous it can be. And so, but with the domestic violence case, it's more so like, this person may like push you, or they may shove you, or they may hit you like really hard, and they may be like, oh, I was just playing around, or I was just upset or angry or whatever. But you may think like, oh, like they're not going to do it again, but then they keep doing it again, and then they may bruise your eye, or they may scratch you, or you guys may get into a physical fight, that sort of thing. So you do just want to be careful about that, you guys. Like if you are in that situation, please make sure that you reach out for help and support, and really understand that this person is not for you. And the same thing like with a narcissistic person. These narcissists can get physically abusive too. So that's why I say I do feel like they are similar. And you guys chime in, like, let me know what you think. Like, leave a comment. Do you guys think domestic violence and narcissistic abuse is the same? You know what I mean? Or how do you think that they differ? I know, again, the difference for me, I know it's more like the narcissistic abuse is more mental, it's emotional, and it's psychological. And the domestic violence abuse is more like physical, And I think no abuse is good. No abuse is acceptable, but I think that the narcissistic abuse does a lot of damage long term, because you guys know that physical wounds can eventually heal. It may leave you a scar, but like with the emotional, mental, and psychological abuse, that stays with you like for a really, really long time, and it's almost like deep rooted inside of you. You know what I mean? So yeah, you guys, I hope that was helpful. And then the other thing is I wanted to just talk about is how to stop feeling sorry for people who don't want to change. And I know that this can actually be a thing with narcissists. Like if you feel like you could feel sorry for the narcissist, or you could feel like you still want to be responsible for them, or you still may care, which is a natural thing. Like we're humans having we're spiritual beings living in a human body, so we're going to have the human experience, and having the human experience is having emotions, right? So you could definitely feel sorry for this narcissist, or even you could feel sorry for a toxic person. Like, like I said, not everybody is a narcissist, but just maybe the scenario where you could feel sorry for someone who doesn't want to change. And I guess what could help you is shifting your mindset and understanding that if this person wants to change, they will. I mean, at this point, this person is making a conscious decision not to change. And so you just kind of have to look at it like everybody has free will. And if they don't want to change, then that's their decision. You know, you kind of have to respect their decision. And unfortunately, they have to respect your decision of you wanting to change. You know what I mean? So I hope that definitely just kind of gives you guys some perspective, because I know that a lot of us victims and survivors, we still care about the narcissist. We still want to know like what's going on in our life. Or again, it could just be a toxic person. Like we still may want to know like what's going on in their life, like how they're doing. And we really, really want them to change like really bad, but they don't want it for themselves, So you just kind of have to remember that. But anyway, you guys, I hope that this was a helpful and insightful video. Like I said, if you know anybody that's dealing with narcissistic abuse or domestic violence, tell them to reach out for help and support. Like, if you are dealing with this, understand that you're not alone. You don't have to deal with this by yourself. There's always resources. There's always support groups and people that you can connect with that will help you along the way, So, yeah, that's basically the video, you guys. Leave a comment. Let me know what was you guys' feedback. What was your takeaway? And leave any topics, you guys, that you want me to make a video about in regards to dealing with narcissistic abuse, dating, and relationships. All right. I love you guys so much, and I will see you all on the next video. Take care. Bye.